Where Arts and Adventure summits the airwaves. This is the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show with Oberndorfer and Long. I'm R. Brandon Long, along with
Todd Oberndorfer.
We are your hosts for the greatest arts and adventure podcast in all the land. With us here today, we have our guest, Troy Callentine, fresh executive director of the Go Foundation. And then Brooke. Brooke, what's your last name?
Thompson.
Make sure I got the right cameras going on here. Okay. Brooke Thompson. Now, you are very extra special, I've heard. So, the volunteer and programming extraordinaire.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. It's true. That's all we need to know.
That's like a bump above manager, I think.
It is, actually.
It's like
It
four
gets paid
steps.
the same, but it's like a bump above.
It's true.
Responsibilities are a little bit more.
It's a hot title.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it.
It's a hot
And less
title.
sleep, actually.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Always less sleep. Troy, we've had you on the podcast before, but you're repping a different shirt this time, you know, and a nice new hat.
I haven't brought the logo on the shirt.
You brought the logo on the shirt. Like, here, let's zoom in on that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's go.
Move the cord.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, looking good. Go
Here, quick,
Foundation.
zoom back.
Zoom back out. Hurry.
Too close.
Oh, so you gave up your former life. What are you thinking? You said, like, well, let's help the community. Let's do this nonprofit thing.
For sure. Yeah, born and raised in South Ogden. I've been around all this for a long time. And Eric Bauman, the last executive director, he and I have been friends for a bit. And when the opportunity arose, it just kind of struck me as something to pursue and take a look at. And so here I am, and it's great time so far.
So I don't know you that well, but you were in real estate for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a job, but you're your own boss, sort of,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So now you're your own boss, but you have a board and stuff.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a JOB sort of
been a minute.
situation? It's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been self-employed in some manner since 03, 04, really. So moving into 20 years of, defining my own schedule, but when you're self-employed, you're never really defining your own schedule anyways. But it's been a long time.
And
now you're accountable to others.
Yeah.
Many others.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
What did that 20 years experience being self-employed, how's that helped you jump into this, which I can already think of some ways it would help you, but what's your experience so far? Because you're a couple months in?
Yeah. It started in November.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I guess, over 20 years, you meet a lot of people, like networking, just new introductions, making friends, finding pathways to, solutions to a means to an end. You know what your goal is, what you're looking to do. And you suddenly, you start to, you put that out there in the universe and you tend to attract, the opportunities that get you there. So in self-employment, that's what happens, right? You decide what you want to do and you go there and you learn the path and everything else, but a lot of it just happens through that networking component and meeting people and talking through things and finding, a new creative way to do something. And so that's probably what I've learned most about self-employment.
Well,
I think that I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to grab a drink because we have to drink every time you say goal, which is which has already been two times already.
So this is a
hold on
tricky
one
game.
second.
Okay, so those of you listening at
deal.
home, grab a bevy, and every time we hear the word goal,
It can be a LaCroix. It can be a Coke,
it can be a LaCroix.
Pepsi, whatever you want it to be.
I'll start it off. Okay, so I had a feedback from you. So I know someone who interviewed you.
Oh no.
Yeah, and
yes. Or, I don't know.
yeah,
Let's
they
hear where this
interviewed
goes.
you, and I was talking to this person, and they said, I didn't realize how qualified he was for the job, and so, which is a good thing. Because being self-employed, you think, how am I going to be qualified for this first? But what was the one question they asked you in the interview that you stumbled and you're like, oh, crap, I don't know.
Oh, man. Now I'm on the spot.
Now you're on the
Your
spot.
question there. I mean, honestly, just I think maybe the difference between a governing board and a more of an advisory board, like how that role impacts the role of an executive director. And I knew the answer, I think, but just wasn't something I had really even thought through coming into the interview process and understanding the true dynamics, right? That goal is, it's a volunteer board that...
Drake. Oh my God, we're gonna go through so much beer.
It's gonna be.
This is gonna be a long night.
I'm gonna consciously think through. So, but being a volunteer board based out of the community, the directive of the organization, is it is important, right? And it's not just me; it's a group of people that care about the community, that care about goal and its mission.
Yeah.
And
all right, new game, Todd. This is impossible.
It's going to get ugly. Us and me and the team, we get to work alongside that. We get to influence, I think, what those opportunities look like for the organization. But at the same time, we work hand in hand with that board and make sure that the mission, the objectives that we're trying to accomplish get fulfilled.
Okay, so Brooke is here, and I do want to really quickly address that. You took over this nonprofit at a time where there's been some recent turnover, essentially, right? Like there was not a lot of turnover for a while, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, everybody had different opportunities and left within the last couple of years or whatever, and so including your sister, I believe, right? So
yeah, true.
Yeah. So what's that like going in and sort of, do you have a fresh start essentially? And then Brooke, what's your part in all of this here? As far as your role in bringing this team together?
So I've been at Goal. Well, so I've been voluntold for Goal.
I want to fix this camera because you're crooked. So keep talking.
Yeah. So Claire, my sister Clarice, she worked for Goal for 9 years, and I was voluntold, we call it in my family, to help out with the marathon at first when she started. So I've been involved a long time, but I did start part-time for Goal in 2021 as their office manager. And then in 22, I got hired in full-time. So I've been full-time since then, but I've been around for a long time. Not in the employee aspect for as long, but in the volunteer aspect, I've been around for a decade now. But it's been interesting, cause I'm kind of the last one standing who's been around longer than a couple of months, really. So it's definitely interesting, and everybody's doing super awesome. We were really scared when we got a new executive director.
I mean, look at him. He's scary.
He's so scary. It's so scary.
Not as scary as that snake out there eating
the mongoose snake.
The mongoose snake you have out front.
It's Todd's favorite.
No, but it's been an interesting and it's been a cool process. It really has been. It's been really awesome process for sure. This is back to back, almost back to back. We've had some nonprofits on this program here, and
we love nonprofits.
Love nonprofits. Yeah. One of the some. I mean, they're all different, but fundraising is a big deal. And so, how do you? Where's the goal sitting as far as as the budget goes and fundraising goes, and what are some of the events that bring in money to the organization?
So I mean, we're pretty fortunate. We've been around for quite some time, and again, the community support's been amazing. So our signature event is by far the marathon, the Ogden Marathon. So we work with Ogden City directly to help produce that marathon, and it's a great revenue generator for the organization, and that and then a few other initiatives that we have really support our community programming, which is where our heart really lies in getting youth and getting others out into the amazing outdoors we have right here in our backyard. Folks that have either been seasoned, right? You got bike riders and racers that come to the Nut and El Doce in the past, and other things like that, all the way up to and I don't want to say up or down, just to things like our snowshoe event and community hikes that Brooke puts on. People who've maybe never been hiking or snowshoeing, we get to get them engaged in those experiences. So from a budget perspective, we're doing okay. We can always do better. We're always looking for opportunities to add resources to that pool to expand that offering to the community, so we can give more scholarship money, more financial aid to people who might need that to get out and get engaged in some of the outdoor activities that some of us might even just take for granted.
Always open to talk to sponsors.
Yep.
If you want some sponsorship dollars going towards Goal, we're always open.
Brooke, and that's your job then, is to put some of these community events together, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'm the volunteer and the programming manager. So last year I just kind of got thrown into the role when I took over doing the community programming. Like everything for the year was already planned out. So I just kind of jumped in and grabbed on the reins and, made sure everything went smoothly. So now this year I get to plan my own community programming, which has been really exciting. I get to add, so last year and this year we're doing rock climbing and mountain biking for youth. But this year we get to add back in hiking camp as well for youth. And then we're working with YMCA to do backpacking and outdoor rock climbing as well, which is super cool. So the rock climbing will be like 5-night, like overnight out backpacking.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Super neat. Yeah. So we're really excited to be able to do that.
Who else do you partner up with? So you said YMCA.
YMCA.
And I think Weaver State as well.
Weaver
and maybe
State,
the front?
And then the front is where we do our rock climbing
Okay.
at. Yep. And then Youth Impact we work a lot with, like just helping get some of their kids into programming. And then I also work with Golden Hour Senior Center. And I love them so much. Starting in March, we go on 2 hikes a month. Throughout the whole summer, we go to different locations, and then at the end of
so hikes and these are seniors, right? So we got to make sure they can. I guess they got to walk. Or can you do the walkway with a wheelchair or something? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so most of my seniors, like none of them are in wheelchairs. Like they're all pretty able. Okay, but I still have to go to like pretty easy places. Like there's limit places that I can go, and we only have an hour time, so we'll just go a half hour out and then a half hour back. But it's more about getting them out and getting them active and just letting them have that sense of community too, which is really awesome. And then at the end of
it's huge.
It's so huge.
Yeah.
And the seniors get forgotten about a lot. And we also have a community shoe give back program for the seniors and for the kids at Youth Impact actually as well. So at the end of the year, we gift them hiking poles, them being the seniors at the Golden Hours. We get them hiking poles and shoes for them to be able to go hiking in.
That's amazing. Where do you get the hiking pole? How's that work?
I order them off Amazon.
Oh, okay. So you guys get a
We
budget.
just have our fun. We have our
sponsor out there.
Wow, yeah, I used to, but yeah.
Unless you want to sponsor hiking poles or shoes.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll
we are.
Put that word out. I think that would be a perfect donation.
It
For
really
sure.
would be. Yeah.
It is really cool. Yeah, for sure. And we'd love to be able to do more. But
Todd, do you remember when you first heard about Goal and what you knew about it?
Marathon, the marathon and the volunteers.
Yeah.
The volunteers, because I think that the reputation for the marathon, but especially the volunteers to put that together is like famous.
It's massive.
It's not a small feat.
It is not a small feat, and it's
a very big part.
And the word is out, and that's something for you as well, Troy. Where you inherited a lot of tradition, a lot of history. I mean, did you feel the weight of that? I'm sure you did a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I wasn't. If I told you I wasn't a little bit scared, right? Rolling into some of this, there's a lot of community support in it, but there's a ton of moving parts and a lot of weight in the event itself. It has a huge impact for that single weekend that we're there. There's a lot happening. A lot of people, over 20,000 people come just for the marathon between the participants and friends and family that support it. So it's got a big impact on the community. And then in addition to all the volunteers that pour into it, that run our hoopla stations and our water stations and set up the course, and even the community partners that we have that help set up barricades and all kinds of things. We've got some really amazing partnerships that help make it happen, and it wouldn't happen without a lot of giving and a lot of care in how this kind of event can impact the community, right? It's watching people cross the finish line after training from... If you haven't
hung out at a marathon finish line in your life, you should.
You should.
You should.
So cool.
It's phenomenal.
Even if you don't know anyone, you'll probably cry. So
yeah. Oh, we cry every year at the finish line. It's awesome.
And so there is a lot of weight to it. At the same time, it's what's most telling and most empowering for me right now. Again, is I've known a lot of people who originated the original board members of Goal, which was Weber Cultural Legacy Foundation. We're doing business as Goal. That's 2 for you, Todd. And so I've known a lot of people all the way back from then. The organization originated from really the original volunteer database from the Olympics. So post Olympics, it was like, what do we do with this volunteer?
It's my wife on the phone. I'm just saying, every time.
We should put her on the podcast. See if
she'll kill me.
She knows.
Oh my God, I'm podcasting right now.
Oh, you're podcasting?
Yep, every Tuesday. Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't know if you wanted me to get you something from Panda.
Oh, from Panda. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, see you in a bit. Bye.
All right. Okay. There we go.
want
You are so
Panda.
lucky. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
That's so lucky. I don't even have
Can
a
I
clue.
put an order in for Panda
Yeah,
too?
sorry.
Yeah, can we put in orders? Will she bring it in?
Wait a minute. I didn't know dinner was being served.
So it's cool that you point out that volunteerism, Todd. I think because again the whole organization really is rooted and based out of volunteerism spirit from the Olympics, and that's where the original concept kind of came from. It's like, what do we do with this amazing contribution to the community? These people who want to give back and want to do something with these events that do something more than your day-to-day grind at a job. And now it's morphed into what it is today, which is much more than just what it was originally. It started out with a bang, but now we're really rocking and rolling. We have some pretty amazing stuff. So
Yeah.
And
I would even say like a role model for other organizations and their events is I'm sure you probably get calls over the course of the year. You will, as far as
we ignore most.
how do you do it so well? Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
No.
Yeah, but you're not new to. We didn't mention this, but you're not. You were self-employed. You didn't work necessarily for but you were involved in nonprofits. You were involved in the Snow Basin Ski Team for a long time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've been president of the Snow Basin Ski Team for some time on their board, and I'm past chair now through June. They got an amazing group taking over there, which is cool too. Is to see the the attrition and the transition from one group to the next, and take the torch per se and move forward with it. And they're doing amazing things, and you see the same thing in other nonprofits too. So
what did you see that worked well there that you thought about implementing with Goal, or thought, okay, let me make sure Goal is hitting on that cylinder too?
Not knowing the board structure within Goal. Sorry.
Man,
You're
is.
really
It
passionate
is
about
hard. It is
actually
hard.
doing
I don't know
that.
who chose the word. I
Yeah.
guess Todd did. He had thirsty. Not knowing their board
Foundation
structure,
would have been better, I think.
was interesting. So I don't know that I have anything specific other than just energy around getting the participants and membership really engaged in contributing. So and the level here at this organization is amazing. We have one of our most amazing volunteers at their office today, fixing up our I Love OM letters. If you've been to the marathon, we have a big I, a big heart, and a big OM. They're like, what are they, 7 feet tall or something? 7 or 8 feet tall. And one of our past board members and past and current volunteers is rebuilding one of them, or two of them fell down and kind of cracked and broke, so we needed to rebuild them. And so that spirit of like, I care about what's happening here, care about what the organization does, to where I'm going to dedicate a lot of my time and even my own money and resources to like help make this happen. And I guess it just seems to pass through with organizations, nonprofits locally, whether it be an arts nonprofit or something with athletics or outdoor activities or whatever. You see this really cool attachment to the vision and the mission of the organization, and they contribute in ways that you just it's super humbling, right? It's super humbling to see, like, wow, like the person spent that much time and energy to help that organization forward. So I think just carrying that energy and trying to make sure that that's rewarded and recognized, and that the new opportunities are given, and that we keep leaning into the community and giving back in that way.
So when you inherit essentially organization and programming that is such a part of the community, and that is what appears to be on the outside, everything always looks different from the backside, but on the outside, a nice, well-oiled machine, right? Yeah. Is your focus on those sort of short-term goals? So here's another trick.
Goals. Those plural counts.
But how far out are you able to? How far out are you able to think at this point? I mean, do you have long-term goals as well?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we in December just had our full board retreat with our strategic planning meeting. So it was a full day event where again, if you look at our board membership, these are high-minded people. These are really talented folks, executives. They're doctors. They're people with some massive skill set. And we spent a whole day, engaging in what does it mean to be Goal, the organization we are, and where do we want to go, and how do we want to get there. And so we mapped out really a 1, 3, and 5 year plan of kind of what does it look like to be us in 5 years. And so now as a team, we've taken that, defined our pillars of success, essentially things that we're going to work towards, and defining KPIs, so metrics that we can gauge ourselves against. And
I feel the energy. Can you feel his energy, Todd? I mean, you're sitting right there. This dude is on fire.
Yeah.
He's ready to
it's
go.
this cup of coffee. Well, honestly,
And he's still got that new smell too.
that's just the
That new
nonprofit smell
executive
going.
director smell. No, I like it. Yeah.
New ED smell.
We can't get it out of the office.
You can't get it out.
it's something else.
Oh my god.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, you step into something like this, and I couldn't be more fortunate, right? Like Eric Bauman set me up for a lot of success. He and I spent 2 full weeks in a transition period to come in and understand the organization. 1 full week was just getting introductions to our community partners, our sponsors, and then the people of the city and the county and everything that we work with. It's a long list of people that participate in the marathon and other events that we run that make it all work. It's not me at all. This is far beyond that. But even better than that really is the team that he set up. I've got just an amazing team on staff that's incredible.
It's true. We're pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome indeed. And I can see their passion and their engagement and their commitment to what we do as an organization. I was going to say
You
Yeah,
almost
close,
forgot.
close.
We have up to 10-year goals because the Olympics are going to be here hopefully in
Well,
10 years.
we weren't
and
going
that's
there
on
yet,
my list.
Yeah.
That's on my.
Well,
my
short term though,
but short term, yeah.
Brooke, we've got the winter race series. Is that correct?
Winter running series.
Running. Okay.
Close.
Excuse me.
You can race if you want.
WRC.
Yeah.
But it is meant to help you get in shape for the marathons.
Correct.
Originally designed for. So, you're involved in that already, right? Like, when's the next one?
Well, the first one is
First one.
on the 17th of this month. So
Yeah.
not this coming weekend, but this following
That's 5K.
Saturday. Yep, that's the 5K. And then 2 weeks after that's the 10K. And then 2 weeks after that's a 10 miler. And then 3 weeks after that, I believe, is the half marathon.
So,
we
Todd,
pushed it out a little bit.
We have
so.
2 weeks before we go off the couch to 5K.
Yep.
And
Fair.
then,
You got it.
yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just
We
gonna
have a
jump
short
straight to
course
the
you
half
can walk
marathon.
if you want.
Well, I'd be walking. Though it's hilly, but it's hilly on purpose.
Yeah,
But it's
we have to
hilly.
trade you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did reroute a little bit this year for our 10K, because just to be off of 36th Street for the police, because that
Okay.
is a pretty big impact for them. So we're actually running half of our 5K through Weber State this year.
Okay.
So yeah, we're not quite impacting the neighborhoods as much up there as we have in the past, but we're excited to be able to do a full 5K through Weber State campus. That's pretty cool. And then we'll
the
still
5K
finish.
is through Weber.
No, so the 5K is just through Shadow Valley, and then the
Okay.
10K is the same first 5K, but then the second half of the 5K is kind of running through Weber State.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
that's-
races are awesome,
They
and
are.
they're hit and miss on like
weather.
weather. Yeah.
Last year, our 5K, it was like 4 degrees or something. It was miserable.
Well,
it
last
was
year-
so cold.
Last
year's
year was
gonna
like
be
the winter of
70 and
all
70.
It
winters.
was.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was bitterly cold, but that's what we live for.
And then right now, are you already work like you and Alex? I know Alex is heavy into the marathon planning. Are you into
Oh, yeah.
that right now?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've been reaching out to water stations and hoopla stations to make sure people are ready to be signed up for next year. That way, if they're not wanting to do it next year, I have time to find replacements. But yeah, we're already starting on marathon stuff for sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's get a rundown of the event. So the winter, not race, running series
Yep.
is essentially now,
Yep.
followed by the marathon, and then what do we roll into after that?
And then we roll into kids camps.
Kids camps,
Those
summer camps.
Summer camps.
Okay.
Yep. Summer camps start up then. And then we roll into yoga in the park in September.
What park? You
Just over here at the municipal park on 25th Street, like by
Awesome.
the
Yeah.
by the amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yep, we just go over there in that park and do free yoga on Wednesdays at 7.
Todd.
It's awesome. It's super
Get
fun.
your stretch on, Todd.
Let's get our stretch on. Yeah.
It's nice.
No, it's a good place to do that.
It is. And in that time of year, it's outside and beautiful. And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. And then we roll into the Nut. That's in
Nuts year
October.
3.
It'll
This will be year 3.
Year 3?
Yeah.
Veterans now.
Veterans.
Yeah. yeah.
That's a great partnership with Trails Foundation in Northern Utah,
Yeah,
as
so
well as
let's-
Weber County
let me-
Parks and Rec. So
Let me zoom out on this thing because I got their hat right there with the Sasquatch.
This one?
This one right here. It's about the trails, but then the nut is on your head. Yeah. So
it's an amazing event, right? I've ridden in it twice now, and now this year I get to be there with the team putting it on. I'm excited to be on the other side of it.
Well, let's be real. I watched Eric last year. I felt like he wasn't working a whole lot. Felt like Alex was working a lot.
Alex works all the time.
Yeah.
Eric was working his magic.
But Eric was there, but he's so dialed. I guess it just made it look easy. I don't know. He didn't look like.
I think he was already retired by the time
he was
not rolled around. I think in his mind he might have been. Yeah. He might have been a little checked out that weekend. I think.
So I was there as a participant, right? I was there as a participant. I'd been in the interview process actually at the time, but engaged with Eric at the nut. And actually, I have a different viewpoint. Like when I saw him, he was like, "I don't got time to talk. I got to go." And he was loading up his truck with something, buzzing off, loading up signs and cones or something. And so
I'm joking.
He was for sure on the full hustle. So
he was involved with getting us up there, Todd, with the van, and so he reached out to me and said, would like to do some sort of van sessions. And I'm like, well, I had to we've had to explain this a lot to people where it's weird, but it's hard for us to just, if the van goes somewhere and parks, the musicians don't just roll out and start playing, So that's
it's not like a clown car. Yeah, that's how it worked. You just open the door and like 3 bands showed up.
Oh man, that would be great. But Todd spends a lot of time booking the bands. And then that's why it's hard for us to do much more than this. And so I negotiated with Eric. I was like, I'm happy to be there. If there are musicians you've got booked that want to swing by and do a little acoustic set in the van, we'll record them. And that's what we did. And it was
cool.
awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk. This is, I don't know if I can even put this on there. I'm sure I can. Nothing's solidified, but we've been working with David Owen, who owns Imagine Music.
Awesome. Yeah.
Up on Harrison. We're looking at doing like what are we going to call it? I don't know. Who knows what we're going to call it, but like a nutty school of rock of some sort, and get their school of rock to come up and do a big session. We'll still hire a band or two, I'm sure, for post event, but we're looking to have some local kids come up and passionate about music that are really into it. There's no preconceived notion of how they should play or how they, how the audience wants to hear them. They're just going to go up and jam and have a good time. And so we're going to engage with them. And so we'd love to, if we can have the van there as well.
Well, we got Eric on stage, right?
He didn't know that was happening.
No.
It was awesome.
So
he had no clue.
We're going to get you on stage next. That's what we're going to do.
No, we're going to, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
That's not one of his goals, Brandon.
Oh, we'll drink to that.
Does it count if I was drinking while you said it?
Yeah.
I think it's good to chat about the nut while we're there, though. Again, some of the things that Gold's really proud about is our ability to partner with other community people, right? So like with Trails Foundation, it's amazing. Eric Manning and his group are just phenomenal. Todd at Weber County Parks are just phenomenal. Help us, designate a space that we can go up and enjoy. And if you haven't been to the Northern Utah Trail Fest, it's like, to me, it's mind-blowing. You're sitting there in the 1st of October, the leaves and the colors are just going off. You're right on the backside of Ben Lomond and Willard Basin, and
that view is stupid.
The view is so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like it really is just
it
unreal.
Really is. I was chatting with a fellow from Park City. I can't remember when, just over the weekend, and he was like, well, I ride in Park City, so no reason for me to go up north. And I was like, well, I think you're wrong, man. I think you're wrong. Have you been to North Fork and that park and come up to the Northern Utah Trail Fest? And we're super fortunate, right, to be able to have other partners in the community that want to just sort of let the rest of the community see what we really have to offer here and experience it in a way that maybe they wouldn't normally. So the festivals, it's rad, right? You got food, you've got bands, you've got the van sessions going on. You've got other vendors there, local.
There were a lot of vendors there.
Yeah, we have a lot of great vendors selling shirts, selling stuff, helping with bike mechanic stuff. We got people running the trail.
Good food.
Good food. People running the trail for 9 hours. There's on-site camping, so you can walk right from the food back to your camper, your trailer, your tent, or whatever you're going to camp in. And
it's kind of like OFOAM and a little bit. You get a camp and watch music. Only this one, there's a races going on.
Yeah, and we even have OFOM there. They come. They do some great stuff with the kids.
Another nonprofit.
Yeah, another nonprofit. So again, it speaks to the collaboration between the community and the nonprofits and all of our existence and reason to engage in community and levels in ways that wouldn't likely be engaged with otherwise, right? Like without these initiatives, it's not like, it's called nonprofit for a reason, right? There's not, no one's going to retire early doing these jobs, but the community benefits in ways that they wouldn't otherwise.
And it does speak well for Goal and for that event, for being as new as it is, to have that many committed nonprofits and other groups that are saying, yeah, I'll do another thing, right? Because
it's not
that's
easy.
Definitely how you through the years you do what you do long enough, and it's hard to bite off more each year. And so when they do, it feels that much more like appreciated, and it's like, okay, well, there's something else, that you guys provide, and I think one of those is just a solid event for 3 years, and gosh, these things take so many years to really get dialed down. And this last year was so much fun.
It was
so much fun. I'm already looking forward to next year.
Yeah, we're going to reserve a spot for the van for sure.
All right. Hell yeah. We skipped over El Doce. Do you want to talk about that? Because it is not happening this year, correct?
It is not. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Teams, we're a little bit bummed, but also kind of excited for opportunities. So what our recent meetings, November, December meetings with the board and general discussion, we look at everything that we're doing, right? We evaluate those against the pillars that are most important to us on our 5-year goals.
and then also to explain what El Doce was for those who are listening that might not know what because it's a pretty popular event.
Very popular event. 600-700 participants typically. 12-hour bike race, team, solo, however you want to roll it. Mountain bike event. Yep, up at Powder Mountain, which again is like, it's God's country. It's beautiful up there. It's unbelievable to be in that space. So yeah, that's we ran I think 7 years in a row of El Doce, and so for a lot of decisions, a lot of conversation went into, deliberation went into.
Killed a mosquito, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Poor guy, little guy.
A mosquito. It's February.
It's, it's still a mosquito.
What is the deal?
It's still a life form.
Anyway.
Have some heart. Let him have a little meal. You'll be fine. You got plenty of respect.
He shouldn't be alive right now.
No, that's what I'm saying. What is going on?
You must have some kind of like water.
I don't know.
Some standing water here.
There's standing beer. We had standing beer.
We better have more goals so they can get rid of it. So yeah, El Doce, through deliberation with the board and the team itself, we opted to focus on some other initiatives that will help us expand some of our community engagement programs, like the hiking, like some of the mountain bike and the backpacking programs and some of our shoe give back programs, the things that we feel like we can really impact a community that might need it, right? So we're putting our heart where we're putting our.
Well, and I'm putting you on the spot. I don't mean to, but I want to know what the what's the mission of Goal, I guess, because that's like makes some of these decisions.
The acronym is Get Out and Live, right?
Yeah.
So get out and live, and we like to see every demographic get out and live. So we want to see the seasoned athlete, which was the majority of the participants, for instance, at El Doce. A lot of the athletes at the Nut are also very well seasoned, but we also have a wide range of people who've never raced a mountain bike race in their life. For instance, this is you're not asking for my background on this, but this is where I came from. I'm 47 now. I raced my first bike race at the Nut. That was my first time getting in a start line with a bib and doing the thing on a bike. And I like to think I crushed it. I think I was ninth that year. And I thought that was pretty damn good for a 6-hour bike race to pull that off.
Yeah.
So it gave me an opportunity as a young adult, we'll call it, to get out and
you're like, I'm going to turn pro at this now. I'm going all in.
Yeah, I'm looking at Point to Point this year. Eden Epic. There's some really rad bike ride, but really it opened my eyes to what I'm capable of and what I could actually do. Right, and I like to think I'm a pretty seasoned outdoor enthusiast. And so our mission of Get Out and Live really is to provide opportunity for the community, the broader community from every range, to get out and live, to go do things that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise, or that they already do, but let's do them at a different level. Let's do them in a bonded environment, in a team environment, in a group environment that's exciting and fun, and that has a good feel to it, and that just offer some value in that regard, right? So the kid who's maybe never gotten on snowshoes, we talked about our snowshoe event to be pre-podcast here. It was really cool. I mean, we had guys that run marathons and do ultra marathons and that kind of stuff show up for our snowshoe event. It was like $10. Is that what it was? $10. We were State University
Outdoor program.
The outdoor program. They helped us with a snowshoe opportunity, and then so we had people that would like run ultra marathons show up for our snowshoe event to participate, and then we had people that I don't think had really ever been on snow or on a big hike of any substantial way, like probably ever in their life, and they came and they got to bond in this one group of 30 people, kind of broke up into separate groups, but we had these groups come up, so we had a really diverse engagement in that type of program, and that happens throughout the year, right? Our mountain bike programs that Brooke runs, she can shed a little light. Maybe tell us, I guess, a little bit more about like age range and stuff in the bike program that we do.
So the mountain bikes, there's 2 age groups. There's 6 to 11, and then 11 to 14 are the 2 different age groups that we do. And we have 2 girls that run it, and we're actually paying for them to go down to Moab to get their level 1 certification, which is super awesome that we're able to do that. And those kids are so amazing. Like, most of them start out like barely even being able to ride a bike. Like, they can stay up on a bike, but that's about it. And by the end, they're like doing jumps and going down hills, and it's just so neat seeing their confidence grow and like seeing these cute little bonds between the kids, and it's super cool. Yeah.
To me, like, outdoor sports and outdoor recreation really is a social sport, right? I grew up ski racing when I was young, doing some BMX racing and some other stuff in the summer. I wasn't much of a basketball guy.
Well, it is. So it's interesting because, the kids need to do extracurricular activities, and some of them, the team sports are the go-tos to start. The baseball, soccer, hockey, even around here a little bit. But when you get into climbing and mountain biking, skiing, it's not a team sport necessarily. Sometimes you can compete as a team, but it's more individual, but it's still a community of people. And that community sometimes is just as tight as those team sports.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And we don't, certainly, at Goal, we don't discriminate on whether it's basketball, baseball, or anything. If you're getting out and living, we're going to try and support it. For instance, Brooke was able to manage and negotiate with the Ogden Untamed program. So they have a really cool program that the city subsidizes some basketball, baseball programming as well. And we're able to partner with them this year and offer some scholarship opportunities specific to the Ogden Untamed program. So those are ways that we want to be able to see an impact. We want to see a kid who maybe wouldn't normally get engaged in competitive basketball, competitive baseball, or competitive something else, and give them that extra edge, that extra opportunity that they can do something like that. Whether they become an NCAA athlete or not, we don't care. We just want them to get involved and get engaged and going outside and having a good time. This is nothing against computers or anything about it, but every kid needs a little bounce. They need to get out. They need to make friends. They need to get some social experience. And those sports offer that. Our mountain bike programs offer that. The Nut offers that. El Doce offers that, or did. So I guess,
Are you bringing it back?
I'm bringing it back.
Is it
We're going to circle back.
Well, bringing it back to El Doce. El Doce, for those of you who participated in the past and loved the event, it is not happening this year officially. And so, but keep training, keep out there, keep at it, keep drinking those beers, because that was part of it. I mean, Roosters had a great little thing set up
and they
there.
Still do. They still got they have an El Doce brand. It's amazing. It's a great beer.
They had a beer.
It's a staple on the shelf. I think you got a sixer in the fridge.
Yeah. So, but
who knows what
who knows? You might bring it back. So,
who knows what the future of it is? I mean, I think, again, the compelling story behind all this is, again, that community engagement and like what our partners are willing to offer and do for us. Powder Mountain's been just phenomenal in letting us run that event there. They extended a really phenomenal opportunity for us to do it this summer as well.
I have news about Powder Mountain. Can I just jump in?
Is now a good time? Yeah, go for it.
So, because they're putting in 4 new lifts, in case you didn't know. 4 new lifts at Powder Mountain. Now, there was a rumor that they were going to go private. Okay. So I worked up there this weekend as an MC at one of the races, and I felt so VIP, Todd. It was ridiculous because I was shuttled around the mountain in this like side by side. Like the side by sides normally they got wheels on them, but these had tracks on them, right? Well, come to find out, the employees hate these things. I mean, they like sleds because the sleds go faster. The side by sides are pretty slow. In the meantime, it's covered with a heater, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like I thought they were amazing, right? So I got.
And it holds all your gear, right?
And it holds all the gear, yeah. So I didn't have to hold up. So in the meantime, I get a chance to talk to the marketing person, and he's like, "No, we're putting in four new lifts, and the one is
now. Is any of this information for your ears only?
Yes, yeah. Is this confidential? Is there an NDA?
This is all well, he didn't have me sign one, so
okay.
we're good. So, but what he did say is that. The one is for so it's a private lift for for those residents, right. But everyone jumped to private. It's private. And then what he explained was, no, you can still access that same area, but to ride that lift up to I guess where it drops you off is closer to the residential areas, right. is private, and so that's a different, but there's everything else is all open to the public. Like nothing else is changing. And so I'm like, well, and I made the comment, well, I said, well, I think the marketing needs to be better on that. And I wasn't trying to offend him because he was in the marketing department. But what he said was, well, the trolls are going to troll and they're just going to believe what they believe, and blah, 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 And so if you hear private, blah, 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 it goes private. That's the first thing. And they think, oh, the whole mountain's private. And it's like, no, not even close to the whole, not even close.
It's the largest ski resort in the United States, right? It's the largest acreage skiable. Yes, the largest skiable acreage in the United States. Powder Mountain is right here in our hometown. Voted number one. It's a cool place. And their vibe is cool. The
vibe is awesome.
Their lean into El Doce and that vibe was huge. They're so pumped to help us run that event and offer really favorable terms to continue running it. So it was for us. It was a little bit of a bind of saying, like, do we do it or not? It was a really tough decision. Yeah. We hope to be offered an extended, maybe some opportunity there in the future. We don't know what that looks like. I certainly won't make any promises what it looks like, but again, I just think it just reinforces like how amazing the community of Ogden and the greater Ogden area really is, and the willingness to lean in and cooperate on cool programs and opportunities for people to get out and do fun things that wouldn't happen without that partnership and those cooperations. So.
Todd, what do you got?
Okay, so as we learn more and more about nonprofits, I think that's going to be like a segment of the show probably. It's turning.
We've had 3 in a row.
Yeah. And you've listed off so much programming that you do over the course of the year. And I think it's important to talk a little bit more about the sort of nuts and bolts of the operation. And that means maybe learning about the board just a little bit more. How big is the board? Mm-hmm. How big of a staff are we talking? These programs run relatively lean, let's just say. And I think that our audience would be very surprised how few are involved with these massive operations.
Yeah.
And so can we talk about that just for a minute?
Sure.
Just the rest of your team.
Brooke, correct me if I'm wrong along the way. Just let me know. So our internal staff is, let's start with Brooke. She's amazing. We've got Alex Docta, who does all of our operations and race logistics. Cecily Kiss, she does our community outreach and programming. Kirsty, she does all kinds of everything, admin galore. And we just hired a new marketing and communications director, Isabel Guinness. So there's 6 of us total on staff that show up at the office, right? And we grind. And we have what we call a flexible work schedule. We like to get out and live. So if one of my staff wants to go for a hike in the morning, take their dog for a walk, great. Just come in when you can and make sure your work's getting done. It's sort of how we roll. And they do. These guys, they kill it. They crush it every day. That's our staff. That's our vibe. That's our culture. Our office, we're super blessed to be down in Washington Boulevard, 2440 Washington. Got a really cool office space right across from Perry's Egyptian.
We love your office space.
It is cool. We want to invite you guys over. We'll have a little gig.
Todd, I was telling him we did our 10-year anniversary, or was that our 100th episode or something. I thought it was our 10-year anniversary. There on the patio.
I can't remember if it was a year or an episode, but it was fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
And then we did the Bill Allred interview there too with
the KJQ guy, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. We did do that.
I drank way too much. Yeah.
Must have been a lot of goals that night. I don't know.
There were a lot of goals that night. Yeah.
Let's make it all happen again.
Yeah.
That's great.
We're going to revisit that. We were talking earlier.
I like that deck out back.
The
deck is
patio.
cool.
That's,
Yeah, we have an amazing outdoor deck space that we're hoping to rejuvenate and do some things with. Be able to get
garden
out there
boxes.
little
Grow a
garden
gold
boxes, grow
garden
some-
up there.
Gold garden. Drink it up.
garden. We get some maters and some basil, whatever else. So yeah, that's our staff. That's our full-time staff, and everyone is full-time right now, and it's great. It's just one thing. Eric Bauman, again, I met with him before I even interviewed, before I kind of got started in this process, and chat with a few people as well and find out, what is this team? Who would I be working with if I even pursued it? And first thing, I was just blown away by the talent of staff on hand and who he's got in place for the role. So first and foremost, that's kind of that's the boots on the ground making it all happen. The board of directors is a 13-member board. That's a voting board member, and then we have additional what we call ex officio board members, so people that are community at large type members. So without naming names, there's a lot of really great people that are influential, that have connections, and that have to have interest in our success and interest in what we do and how it impacts the community. So that's it. I mean, that's it. And then, the thousands of volunteers. We can't ignore
if you could list them off, that'd be great.
Please don't forget one.
I don't think we have the time. But yeah, we could not do what we do without our volunteers. That is for sure. And I'm very grateful that I get to manage that and make sure they're appreciated and stick around and we love.
I think we'll have you back at some point just to talk volunteers, and it's just such a big topic. Yeah, but it's something that Gold does so well, but then also Ogden does so well, famously well.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the previous mayor's famous line when he would talk about Ogden. He would talk about the volunteers and the people that would show up. Almost, I'm gonna talk crap on him if it's talking crap. But that was like one of his go-to lines at every public speech was how proud he was of how. Because he actually cited stats about it, of how giving and how many volunteers there were in this town. Like, this is a town that likes to get out and volunteer.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, it'd be hard to not give that mayor some credit, right? I mean, the marathon was originated through him and Carolyn. His directive to Carolyn to start a marathon and get it going and create a staple event that the community can get behind and create and engage in some volunteerism spirit to help make it happen. And here we are, 23 years into it, our 25th years, 2 years away if you can do the math. That's hard math, I know, but but right, to create an event, have an idea, have a vision, a future, of a future that includes that kind of event and to see where it could grow is cool. But it wouldn't happen, period, without the volunteers. Brooke spends endless hours, communicating, coordinating, make sure we celebrate, make sure we have those commitments in place and that we get new excitement as well. Because some people, over time they move, they age out, they have other obligations, they got family vacations and stuff. So we're always looking for new people to engage with our events, and it's fun. And you get a free shirt. So I mean,
there's that. Yeah,
a free shirt and more.
Right.
The volunteers have fun.
They do have.
They have such a good time.
It's the high fives.
Creating memories.
I'm really good at high fives. I think that might be part of it.
If it's a solid high five, that means a lot.
Do we do a training class on high fives, or does it just naturally happen?
It's just
I don't know if it's something you can teach.
It's not. You have it or you don't. Right?
You have it or you don't. Okay, I won't show you my high five.
Troy,
it's probably a little bit. I don't know.
If it's anything like the new guy's smell, I don't want to see it.
Oh man,
that's funny.
It is good.
Troy, I feel like the conversations at your home life are different now. You go home and you're energized. You got this new job and talking to the wife, and it's like a whole different you at home.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, I'm blessed. Finding a work-life balance is not easy, but it's great, right? I've got a super supportive family that they see the vision and the mission. In fact, it was my wife actually who kind of introduced me to it was an Instagram post of this job role that came up, and my wife was the one actually who said, "Oh my God!" Because before the post even happened, she had mentioned, if you were ever to go get a job, you should work for something like Goal. She literally named the organization. And then when Eric's announced his retirement and the position came up, she was like, you won't believe it. Like, this just popped up. And so it was a little bit of fate that kind of came across the social feed of all things. They did good marketing on the role, and that's what happened. But so yeah, I have a really good supportive family sphere, as well as staff, right? Like, for instance, our most recent endeavor to Florida, I made a schedule change that was important to me to be able to be home with my family, to do something a little bit earlier than the rest of the staff was able to come home, and they were supportive of that decision for me to be able to kind of create that home life balance and that work life balance.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did mention that you tried to bail on us last weekend, and it was totally my fault because I had the calendar right, but I had looked at it wrong.
Oh, last Tuesday. Yeah, we were flying out and got the call to be here, and I was like, bro, I'm in Salt Lake City.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm in an airplane. Can't make your podcast.
Oh, I was on the plane. I was on the plane on the Wi-Fi.
Text me and was like,
well, I'm glad today worked out, because it's always a pleasure to come.
Well, I'm glad last week worked out because Todd booked because I didn't book it. Apparently I forgot, and I just looked and I thought our next guest is Troy, and then I skipped a week, and then anyway.
We're a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. We could use your guidance.
If you ever need to deliver some talent, you could come over to our goal office. We've got superior admin, extraordinaire, programming, and volunteer coordination.
Love it.
Phenomenal. So.
Well, I was nervous, because we podcast in the community, and we get to know these nonprofits, and we know all the executive directors, and then we love these nonprofits, and we have good relationships with them, and we've had them for years and years and years. And so when one decides to retire and move on, it's like, crap, who's going to be the new person?
Right? Imagine being a staff.
Right. Because you have a groove with who you're with, right? And it's a big commitment. And so I just remember when I heard it was you, Troy, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. The perfect person. I thought it was awesome. So anyway.
Well, that's not the first thing you said, but like right after that.
Right after that, yeah.
Right after. Well, no,
I was like,
let's revisit, in a year from now, and then maybe you just bring Brooke on, and
maybe ask me when I'm here by myself.
Yeah, right from the par, you guys can have an honest conversation.
No, Troy's amazing. We lucked out with Troy for sure. He had some big shoes to fill, and he's filling the shoes and then some. So we're very grateful to have Troy. He's doing great.
Well, I'm grateful to have you guys.
The minimum thing is like the energy, right? You definitely bring in energy.
Yeah.
So
and he can handle me, so that's awesome.
Are you
I would say that's probably the most important thing.
That's the most important.
I can't believe you're a lot. Really?
No, not at all.
She offices closest to me of anybody, actually, and so it's pretty easy. She's good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, congrats.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you being here. Brooke, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me last minute.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I guess you should mention, gofoundation.org, I guess, for all the things. And then your socials are just Get Out and Live, or what are they?
I don't know. Google us. You'll find us. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. You search social for Goal Foundation. We're out there. We've got Cecily's running on social media right now. It's on
Goal Foundation or Ogden Marathon.
Yeah.
Ogden Marathon. That's right. Ogden Marathon's a big one.
But if you have been putting off any of these events we've listed today, for whatever reason, maybe give this summer a chance, right? Yeah. Maybe this is the first year you try the thing that all your friends have been doing. You just barely have time for it. But, you make it work.
Go run a marathon.
For sure.
And if a marathon's too much, we have a half and a 12K and a 5K too. So it's not committing to a
5K.
You can walk
if you have kids who want to get engaged in the outdoor, we do a Kids K that literally, like I was just surfing the photos in our drive, like our photo album. And I don't cry. I haven't cried for probably 15 years. I don't know if my ducts don't work or what, but I was just scanning the photos of the Kids K, and it literally was it's so empowering to see all these little jammers super excited, busting out of the start line and making it happen. It was really cool.
Yeah. We do 500 kids at the Kids K, and we're doing it 100% free again this year, like last year.
It's free.
And they
run, kids,
and they run through the same finish the rest of the marathon does. So they get this real experience.
It's a big finish.
Big deal.
Big finish.
And they come into the full Finish Line Festival, which has got face painting, we've got food, we've got all kinds of fun music, everything else. It's
all
cool.
the characters.
All the characters.
That is the cutest thing ever.
It's so cute. The little kids, and they have their little capes on because they all get a cape. and a teddy bear and sunglasses, and they come running through with their little capes on.
I might run the full marathon if I got a cape and a teddy bear.
Right?
So
Do it. You should do it.
that's what was missing. Do you see these guys who wear like the crazy things on their marathons? Like, anyway.
People are amazing.
So our programming's planning to open up
March
first part of
1st is when all of the registration and scholarships and all of that will be open for our programming for any of the kids camps. So March 1st, keep an eye on our website.
Yeah.
It's really soon.
Marathon registration's open.
Oh yeah, that's open and about 70% sold out. So if you're being a procrastinator, don't do it for too much longer.
And people come from all over the world.
Last year we had 47 states and 8 countries.
I have been, and I will say I am lucky. I am lucky. I do the playlist and make announcements at the start line of the Ogden Marathon.
That's cool.
And it's right there.
You did up till this year.
We got a new executive director. And he's like, no more.
No, that's not on the docket. Sorry, man.
Yeah, sorry.
We got other plans.
We got other plans. And it's right below Causey Reservoir. It's at the kind of
Dancing Moose Farms.
Dancing Moose Farms. Thank you. Where it's the sun rises like right before the race starts, right? The sun rises and we're doing the national anthem and the birds fly over and sometimes there's a little sprinkling of rain and sometimes there's a little cloud and sometimes the sun is up and it doesn't matter because it's always beautiful. It's just beautiful up there. And then we do the national anthem and then I say, okay, everyone out to the start line or something. And then Shane Osgathorpe has this pre-recorded message. It's like with sponsor drops and this kind of a thing, and the music in the background, and then everyone goes out to the road, and then I run down to the start and I jump on the other side of the start line and I turn my video camera on my cell phone and I just record everyone coming across the start line, and it takes like 13 minutes or something for everyone to come across the start line, and it's the coolest freaking thing to
just
see.
2,000 people are starting the full marathon up there, so it's pretty.
And I love how many people wait until everyone leaves and rushes to the start line, and they're like, "Cool, I got the bathrooms to myself." And then
the smart people.
Yeah, then they go to the bathroom, they go to the porta potties, they take their time because your chip time doesn't start until you cross that start line, and they know, and they're like, "All right, I'm cool with it." Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the smart money. Yeah,
that's a whole other episode.
That's a whole other episode.
The Porta Johns. That'll be.
Alex will be here for that one for sure. He loves porta potty talk, man.
That and buses, man. He's been up to his elbows in bus talk and
porta potty.
Buses and porta
I
potties.
know how important these things are.
They're so important. We couldn't do the race without those.
Coming
either.
up next on the Ogden Arts Adventure Show, buses and porta potties.
Yeah.
Alex wasn't feeling well today, so let's have him on another time just to talk about buses.
He's great. He's good.
He's an animal. He's great. Yeah, he's super cool.
Todd, what you got for arts?
All right, so more Salt Lake City Arts Council news and Finch Lane Gallery news. Current exhibition is still up. It's called 35 by 35. It's 35 artists under the age of 35, so it's a good chance to see what's happening in the art scene. Really, really great stuff. February 16th, which is around the corner, is Salt Lake City's Gallery Stroll is every third Friday, as opposed to Ogden's, which is every first Friday. And so swing by from 6 to 9. Check out our space. It's also the award ceremony. There's some awards that are going to go out to some of the artists on that 35 by 35 show, so check that out. And then one other thing that's filling up super fast is I am doing for the second time in a row some professional development for artists, classes, workshops, panel discussion. And so that's March 12th, 13th, and 14th. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the evening at Finch Lane Gallery. Great topics. There's an organization called Springboard for the Arts that's out of Minnesota. They are exceptional at what they do. And so I bring down one of their experts and they facilitate these classes in this panel discussion. The classes this year are on, I think Tuesdays is on marketing. So marketing your work, being able to talk about your artwork. That one's a little bit more applicable to all disciplines of art. Second one, which is a Wednesday, is how to price your art, more for visual artists, but something we all struggle with. so we can get little bits of advice for that. It is worth it. And then Thursday is a panel discussion with curating. It's sort of our gallery show, how to get into gallery spaces. So I'm going to have some gallery directors on there, small to large, as far as that goes. It's something that is very, it's a hard thing to get into. So maybe we can get a little bit of advice when it comes to that. But there are links on saltlakearts.org, or look us up on Eventbrite, professional development. It's called How to Thrive as an Artist. Or look up my spot. I have links. So anyway, they're filling up fast, so check those out. Super proud of that. That's coming up in March.
Cool.
Love it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I was at Powder Mountain all weekend for the, is it FIS?
IFSA.
Oh, that's
In your VIP
I have no
facility.
idea.
VIP
yeah.
escort to the.
Dude, it was sweet.
That's cool.
It should be on your rider from now on.
It totally should be in my rider. Yeah, I want green M&Ms, Hall's medication.
Only the green one?
And only the green ones.
Can I have the background? I got to know what's the green.
No, it's just this. And then peanut M&Ms, by the way.
Oh, peanut.
Yeah,
okay.
peanut
Yeah, I'm with you.
M&Ms. And then and a heated side-by-side
Yeah.
to get to the destination.
That's a big
That
thing.
was a fun event, and so that expanded. So you know something about
Sure.
this. There's 2 now. So there wasn't 2 before, I guess. So we did 2 days at Powder Mountain, and then we got 2 days. So this weekend I'll be up at Snow Basin, so you can come heckle me. I guess they're going to use the same course. They use the same course every time.
Yeah, it's going to be gnarly this year. Last year we had so much snow. There was all the features were not covered, but there was a lot more snow. And this year there's going to be a lot more rocks to jump, and these kids are crazy, man. 10 to 18 years old, and they're just busting big tricks. It's cool. It's really fun to watch, and that's a heck of a view.
So it's a funny thing because so it's a free ride event, and I guess what I heard was if you wreck but don't lose a ski, your score, you can still get a score. Is that true?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know enough about IFSA and the free ride, but yeah, they score it on like line choice, so like where you go, your fluidity, so like they don't like to see you stop. They don't want to see you ski down and like stop and then have to go. They want to see the fluidity, right? Keep going. And then tricks off of jumps, and that might be another criteria or two. But yeah, if you do a little tumble but you don't lose a shoe, you can still keep going. So I'm
hoping for good scores on our fluidity for today's episode.
Well,
I think our fluidity is solid.
It's solid. Okay, that's good.
We need to come to a stop at any point.
If our goal was to have good fluidity, I think
what goal? Yeah, our goal was. Oh God! So there were some kids that just went for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they sent it right, and their amplitude was just visually way higher than everyone else.
Sure.
And then they land their trick, and then they wreck, right?
Yeah.
And then they wreck so hard that they got a no score. I'm like, damn it, these kids.
There's a balance.
Because they crushed it. They were obviously way better, and then they slid out or something. So there's like that decision you got to make, right?
All of it, yeah. If you watch the big, the pro IFSA stuff right now, it's wild. I mean, some of the guys are not doing. I mean, they're doing big tricks. Don't get me wrong, but the guys who are winning are like they're just solid lines, top to bottom, Mach speed. They're hucking big air and stuff, but they're landing stuff and they're keeping that fluidity going. So, and the same applies for the younger kids. Like I think the cool thing about that sport is it's teaching them the combination of, a balance of not just the big air and the big tricks, but like you got to look good, you got to have a good line, you got to be creative in where you go. It's cool, yeah. We got an amazing team. Winter McBride's leading that up now.
Coach Winter.
Coach Winter, she's amazing. She was in the the film she did.
Film preview.
The film preview was rad.
Women's film.
Girls. Oh my gosh. Advice for Girls. Advice for Girls. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. It's a great film. All produced by girls, all athletes, and there were females, and that's rad. It's a cool film. So she's spearheading that underneath Troy Price as executive director, and they're doing great things in the IFSA spirit. It's cool. Yeah. So last year the last couple seasons, there was only one in our region, one IFSA event. Now there's 2, one at Powder and one at Snow Basin. So,
well, and I'll be there this weekend. So
I'll see you.
You happen
Sunday.
to be there.
I'm going to be there Sunday. I'm going to a running thing in Salt Lake City on Saturday for Goal Foundation, and then Sunday I'm going to go up and I'll work that event. So
awesome.
Cool. That does sound really cool to watch. I might have to kind of check that out.
It's hard
Sunday.
to. So you got to get off of the. Strawberry, and then you got to hike a little bit there, right? Like,
But if you were going, Brooke, you
access.
could go. He called me if you want to go. Like you can get off Needles, and then you can ski over. And like if you're just going to go to the base,
Needles,
you can
not
just come.
Strawberry,
You can
sorry.
kind of come over and hike up. It's not like a hike. It's not a big hike. It's like a step up the hill, and you can get there.
The athletes go Strawberry to access, and
Yeah.
then we go Needles, and then we hike up. And it's the first year I'm hiking that hill, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And turns out I had COVID. Didn't know it.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't because I was
And
up
it was
there
cold
Saturday.
that
It was
year.
so,
Oh, it was so
cold
cold.
that year. Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, I had just a rash all over my body, and I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, you got COVID. You got to." Like, well, no wonder I couldn't hike that little hill up to, because I don't know how many. What is that? 7,000 feet or something? And
Yeah, you're close. You're pushing 8,
Yeah.
8 almost 9.
almost
on the top of the
9.
hill, so you're
Oh
probably
my
80. I don't know what the top of Needles is, but
yeah, I was sick anyway.
All right, Brandon, it's on you. You got to stick this landing.
Stick the landing. Thanks to
Fluidity.
Banyan
Keep the
One
fluidity.
for powering today's episode of the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show. Listen and subscribe to Ogden Arts and Adventure on YouTube. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and theBanningCollective.com. And yes, you can slip into my DMs on Instagram at Ogden Adventure. If you would like to be on the show, hit me up. This week's Outdoor Jukebox, it's not even published at the moment, but it will be when this comes out, is the song is called Zober. It's the Tool song Sober, mashed with a Led Zeppelin tune, which I don't know the name of the Led Zeppelin song, but it was Spirit Machines on Van Sessions, and they're sort of made a little famous for this mashup. We were lucky enough to have them on Van Sessions. So this is Zober as recorded on Van Sessions at the Monarch. We'll see you on the next Ogden Arts and Adventure Show.
Let the sun beat down upon my face, stars to fill my dreams. I'm a traveler in both time and space to be where I have been. There's a shadow standing in the place, shrouds every step I take. Empty promises and threats of blame, while everything shakes. Why can't we not be sober? I just want to start this over. Why can't we drink forever? I just want to start this over. Sit with elders of a gentle race this world has seldom seen. They talk of days for which they sit and wait. All will be revealed. I want hail the Father of the four winds, fly across the sea of years. Provisionless, my face is open, sail across the straits of fear. Waiting like a stocking butler, hoof on the finger wrist, burning out the path that must leave, just because the sun has come. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something about the past is done? Jesus, won't you whistle something but the past is done? Why can't we not be so let you trust in me and follow His will. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Why can't we not be sober? I just want to start this over. Why can't we drink forever? I just want to start this over now. I want what I want to, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I want what I want.
Unreal. Spirit Machines on Van Sessions.